Okay, everybody. Hi. I realized last week that some of you were a little confused, so we're going to start from the beginning. Here is examples of our end product, although this one probably will be a little bit more elaborated on and done a little bit more too. But that's what we're going to eventually create. So you're going to use your name, and you're going to start by using a light pencil line because you're going to be doing lots of erasing and you don't want to be able to see the pencil marks when you erase. I'm going to use a marker so that you can see what I'm doing because with a pencil line you won't see it on the camera. So you're going to start with your paper in landscape. That means it's going to face that way, okay? And you're going to figure out how many letters you're using in your word. Is it 3 to 4, 5, or 6 to 7? If it's longer than 7, you're just going to have your letters a little bit squinched up together. I know that's not a word. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is on your ruler, or the way I showed you how to make a ruler using a piece of paper on the other video, you're going to find 2 inches, okay? You're going to make a dot with your pencil lightly so that you can see it from the end of your paper up at each end. So there's my first dot. I have a thing in the way there. There's my second dot. Make sure you're at the end of your paper or you're not going to be 2 inches up. And this is my third dot. So there's 3 dots far enough apart that when I line them up and connect the dots, I'm going to have a parallel straight line from the bottom of my paper. Now, if I didn't follow that correctly, and I'm going to get a piece of scrap, and I did something like this, let's say I did something like that, look where my ruler is at the bottom. It's not really at the end. And I do that, and then I come over here and I'm like, oh, there's 2. And then I come over here and actually get it at 2. Now I'm going to try to make a straight line. Yeah, it's a straight line, but there's my straight line. It's not parallel. So it has to be from the bottom of your paper up 2 inches. And it has to be 3 spots so that you're guaranteed to have a straight line. Some of you, I know, are going to learn this in math. I don't know which grades, but I spoke to Miss Bidlack and she told me that. Okay, so here's my paper that I'm going to start with. Now, I need to make the top line so that I know how far apart, how big my letters are going to be. And here is an example, okay? So here's an example. This is what my next line above is going to be. And it's going to depend on how many letters you're using, how tall that letter is, so that they fit on the page. Okay, so if you're using less letters, your word is going to be big. If you're using a lot of letters, I have one that says Yonatan, but I don't know where it is. It's going to be smaller. This is the second step. So the next thing I'm going to do is decide how many inches my letters need to be. So I'm going to make my word, Molly, my daughter's name, right? So Mollie, so I'm at 6 letters. So what did I say my inches need to be? I know I told you guys, 6 letters. We're going to do 2.5. I know I wrote 5 here, but let's do 5, 6 letters. 2.5 inches. So this line has to be 2.5 inches. That means my letters are going to be 2.5 inches. So let me get to that. Here you go. Next line. If it's 3 to 4 letters, it's 2.5 inches. If it's 5 to 6 letters, it's, If it's 3 to 4 letters, it's 3.5 inches. 5 to 6, it's 2.5. 7 to 8, it's 1 3/4. Now, if you don't have a ruler, this is where you're going to have to kind of figure it out because you don't have a ruler to actually measure. But just watch from the directions first, and then we'll try to go from there. So 2.5. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to put it at the very, let's do it this way. I'm going to put my ruler at my line. That's now the bottom, okay? And I'm going to go up 2.5 and I'm going to make a dot. I'm going to do the same thing at the other end. I'm going to put my ruler at the bottom. I'm going to go up 2.5 and I'm going to make a dot. And then I'm going to do the same thing in the center. 2.5, make a dot. And I'm going to lightly, with my pencil lightly, I'm going to draw another line. Now, I have the space that I'm going to work in to do my letters. If you don't have a ruler, what you're going to have to do is sort of figure out how many letters I'm going to be able to fit in a line. I would just go with the length that you're using from here to here and just use that same length in between and use that as your guide. We're going to go to another video in 1 second.